All right, guys, welcome back to the cast-off. We want to remind you, now is the time for the giveaway. The fan poll just about to open up, and we're going to tell you how you can participate to win the MLG Pro Shop Scuff Gaming Super Bag. We got a Scuff controller.
Super Bag.
We got the controller case, gamer grip, the MLG hat, as well as the Nike MLG hoodie. All you're going to have to do is send in your answers with the hashtag TheCastoff and the hashtag TeamScuff. Don't set it yet. We're about to open the polling, and here are the hashtags you're going to need to use for your favorite caster from tonight. We're going to open this up for 10 minutes right now. It looks like it is 8:16 Eastern time here. We're going to go until 8:26 officially on the clock. Ron, go ahead and show us our casters as the votes start pulling in. Guys, use the hashtag. Do you want the Schwantz? Do you want Paradox, Fox the Don, Chance, Maze, JoJo, Rogers, or Aaron FPS to come through? You, the fans, will vote one in. We will choose a second tonight, and both casters will advance to the North American Regional Finals to cast alongside us.
Again, make sure you're using hashtag TheCastoff and also hashtag TeamScuff in all of your tweets. You can vote as many times as you want. So if you've fallen in love with any of our contestants, get on Twitter and start tweeting. We will pick our winner of the giveaway at the end of today's show. Now, whilst that's open, we can take a look at the live sort of results as they start to come in every now and then. We'll throw over to that. But I think we should kind of take a step back, kind of just refresh our minds.
Let's revisit it. For those of you guys who joined mid-show, there's a lot of you, by the way. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We started the show off with Schwantz and Maze.
Yes.
This was a combination that we expected a lot of energy. Schwantz to come in. He had such a funny submission, lots of great jokes in there, and a lot of shoutcasting. Maze was just very well-rounded in his initial submission. That's what got him through, at least in my book. But, guys, what did you think of that duo and their first cast together?
As a duo? Well, I thought it was really bad.
Okay. Personally, I thought, Schwantz was going to come with a lot more energy. We told him to tone it down a little bit in the constructive criticism, but still, he didn't bring any of it. Even a little bit of it. Really, the jokes, when he made them, because there's no energy, they came out super flat. It was just
Ron, if you have the clip, go ahead and run it. We had 60 seconds from these casters. Let's take a look.
Through yellow now, has got a player behind him. He's going to get taken down. 2 will go down, make that 3, as now it is Stunner that has got to respond after they come back from respawn. Twiz, though, is going to be able to score it for the 2-point play, and now they are 3 points away here, Schwantz, from ending this with a score limit as opposed to in regulation, and that is something that Stunner has really got to be careful about.
All right, I'm on board with Twiz right here as he's in back glass, trying to take control over the spawns. Sees his teammate pick up the satellite. Unfortunately, he can't grab the kill. We're going to hop on board with the satellite runner right here as he's going to go for the 1-point play. Again, he misses! Oh my goodness! Do you even lift, baby? Finally, he gets in the slam with the 2-point conversion there. Thank goodness, because he missed 2 wide open shots, Maze.
Well, right now, it is about Orbit, and they get that final point there, and they are going to force Stunner to try to get a comeback victory with just 4 minutes and 52 seconds there. But that was a fantastic route run by Twiz, and you'll see it there on the final kill cam, or on the final cam.
Just want to point out to both of you that this clip towards the end
as it is right
of
now,
the cast, both people definitely settled down. That's a lot better than it was at the very start. The very start, it was a little...
And that's the samples I want to look at.
Yeah, of course. You want to
at their best,
Definitely. Touching on the trivia, questionable. Obviously, we're not going to wait too much on it. I know. It was definitely better than some. We'll get to that in a little bit. But Schwantz, kind of what you were saying, Matt. You just want to see that natural energy come through as opposed to the kind of the forced energy. I feel like we told him to tone down a little bit. How many jokes did he make in his submission? I remember
7, yeah.
It was like 7.
7 jokes in 90 seconds.
And it's like, well, take that away. Maybe give us 1 or 2 jokes.
And he gave us 1, and it was pretty well timed. But if God or X would have died, it would have been funnier. But he actually got his own rebound, and he put it in for 2. So it's like you started the joke when you thought he was going to die. Now he put it in. You're kind of stuck in a weird place, and it just didn't land perfectly. But
was impressed with Maze.
jokes are normally best, when there's downtime.
Right, yeah.
Um,
I was really impressed with Maze, though. There was big kind of question mark on whether we put him through. We kind of went with it, and I wasn't disappointed at all. I was really actually quite impressed. Had a great play-by-play, didn't really miss much. I just felt he didn't really adapt to his partner very well. That's just my personal opinion. When you listen to them both, it didn't sound that good.
My issue with Maze was the delivery. He's got a little bit of a repetition pattern that you could see over and over again. But when he was talking, you could tell he would pause and then inflect and then go back into what he was thinking.
How
and
coachable
instead of just saying,
How coachable is that?
How coachable is that? That's the key. You've been doing this for years and years
what
and
I'm
years.
worried about is it is almost the exact same as his submission video, and I feel like he's almost worked himself into this pattern, is my only fear. But now that I've addressed it, maybe he can tweak it. Overall, though, he was one of the stronger guys on the day. Very consistent cast from the submission to live. There was no change in my opinion, which is what I'm looking for. I want a guy that I can put on the stage and just
you're going to get.
what I'm going to get.
You're going to get.
Again,
and be
I agree.
confident in it.
If,
Yeah.
if you guys want to vote for either of those two, I will show you that graphic one more time. Of course, the voting is open right now. Hashtag Schwantz on the top left, hashtag Maze at the bottom left. Actually, Foxodon with 35%, Chance with 40%. So that's the live voting as it comes in. Looking pretty good for a couple of people there, but as the day went on, and as the show went on, we went over to Paradox and JoJo bucket. And I think Paradox was a caster that we were actually, all three of us.
Yeah, day
I was
one,
high on
I
it.
had him at the
Excited
top of my list.
Right. So did I.
So Paradox, I was actually really excited to have him here. I think we even hosted up Detroit again for him. So I was excited to see what he and JoJo were able to do. JoJo with a pretty solid commentary coming in here in the submission, but this was a duo. They had a few issues. JoJo was casting from wireless. You could hear it breaking up. So that's a really frustrating thing as a co-caster. You're like, is he still talking? Is he not still talking? But it also just seemed that they weren't really listening to each other when the mics were working. So there was a lot of jumbled, a lot of people talking over each other. We got them to kind of calm it down towards the end. But really, for me, this was the cast where you had two people the most nervous.
Yeah, I agree. We actually have a snip, a video of that cast. We'll just throw that up when you
right now. He's
can.
inside this hospital,
Obviously, they were doing
watching the
Hardpoint Detroit, and just shortly after this clip, Puckett kind of intervened and told everyone to just kind of calm down a little bit. But we'll listen in one more
It
time.
looks like these Atlas team Stunner is just going to be controlling as much as they can at this point. Sinful, though, will pick up a kill in the hill, and he's going to be going back garage.
All right, it's a lot of scrap time going on this hill once again as all are going to go down. Perplex is just looking right outside. He's going to go down too. Sen is in school actually, starting an early rotation to this next. So actually, it's pretty late because the hill is switching right about.
This is where Paradox kind of lost.
Bit of late on that.
Started
Yeah,
moving
I
a
don't
little
know
bit too
if I like
fast
that
for
play
him.
on him. He
Yeah.
was kind of just staying around
The
in
thing
garage
was the worry as well after
not doing too much, and then he had a really late
the initial audition tape.
rotation.
That was one of the things I remember pointing out on the show. What happens when things get a little bit more hectic? Can you follow it?
Live
Stunner
and
team's gonna get a lot of
hectic.
points in this
Very
green
difficult.
I want to know what you think of Legal rocking a Morse thermal right now in hardpoint. He's actually just went
Oh,
down.
I don't think he's trying. I don't think he's trying at all right now. He's like, I was called up for a scrim. I'm gonna do what I feel like.
Twiz is pushing up back.
Oh, can he pick up a pick though?
Yeah, he's been getting a couple of them. Twiz just went down in the hill as soon as I called him. A lot of casters' curse here going. Our accuracy is going to go down as well.
So
Chino,
let's go ahead and end the clip there. But basically, what I took away from it was both players really nervous.
Yep.
Contestants really nervous, and you could just see that neither of them wanted to command the show.
It was kind of
I
like,
thought some of the other casting pairs were much stronger at that. Paradox kind of tried to take that lead at times, but then he just didn't keep going with it.
Right.
So out of all of the 8 contestants, I thought this was the weakest of the casting pairs. Really impressive submission videos, but they couldn't get it done when live.
I was
Yeah, I
even
agree.
just listening
I was-
to Paradox's voice.
yeah.
It sounds good. You know, like even there, just listening to his voice.
Fun
is a
guy to
good
interview. Like
It
he
is-
was really good before
It is
the
difficult
cast.
to cast with somebody who's lagging like that, though.
voice. No, it is. It's a shame. In terms of the questions, they both did okay. Nothing stood out as ridiculously bad. There was definitely some questionable moments, that's for sure. And again, we'll show you that graphic one more time if you want to have a chance to vote
We
for
got the
Paradox
live updates
or
coming in.
JoJo. The hashtags are going to be on your screens. Hashtag Paradox. Hashtag JoJo. And of course, remember when you are tweeting, hashtag Team Scuff and hashtag TheCastoff for a chance to be entered into a giveaway. And of course, if you don't do that, your vote simply isn't going to count. So it's kind of an important part when you're tweeting out.
I like it. All right, let's listen to our third clip coming in here. This was our Biolab uplink. Originally, we saw a little bit of Fox the Don and Roger stepping on each other's toes. I cut them off at halftime. I said, listen, we need to take turns here. And they did a much stronger second half. So if you missed it, let's take a listen.
Into top Eskies as he throws it right at his enemy team, and the enemy throws it right off the map.
Right, I want to see Freaky stay alive here because he's actually running some nice score streaks. I want to see him make it. He's about halfway there. If he could just play for it, he would have a nice assault drone. I'm not sure what attachments he would have on there. Maybe some AI-controlled assault drone, which would be huge for them. You can just get this lead even deeper than it already is. But I think we're going to have another dunk here soon. It's Freaky's jumping off of top Eskies, dunking it right there. That's two points on the board for Freaky. Now he's up to 3 with his 1.0 KD.
Yeah, as the ball's reset, it looks like Sleazy picks it up as Mosquito takes him out. That is 2 dead from the Sentinel side. Atlas up 9-0 with 3.5 minutes left. It looks like he's going to go for this 2-point play, and he gets it. He does.
Very nice. Very
CJ
nice.
taking out Big Steve. J-Lib and Sleazy also get another 2 kills. That's going to be 3 dead from this Benson team.
Right, if you look at the map positioning here, it looks like it's a 2v2 situation around square and purple. J-Lib looks like he's not going to come out on top, so we're going to be on board with Benson's team. They should be in control right now. They should be nearest the ball with the most people alive. Let's just see how they play this out. Looks like they're in the base with it. All right, let's see what they can do here. What do you think is going to happen next?
It looks like Big Steve, he's going to take this ball and try to overextend it through this green side. I want him to hold back a little bit and wait for his teammates, but it doesn't.
All right, so that is a listen to the Fox the Don. He had the deeper voice, and then you had Rogers, who started off with the play-by-play. Rogers, for me, was pretty solid until he lost himself. There was quite a few situations that actually happened, though, but his big downfall was the lack of game knowledge when he came to wanting to say the word hardwired. He was trying to make a little bit of analysis, and Fox saved him. He was able to cover it. But what I was most impressed by in this was honestly Fox's casting. He was doing play-by-play, something he said he was working on, but he was constantly on top of the analysis. I think he and Chance are in the running for the best analyst on the day, and I think Fox actually is going to get the edge in my book because he had stronger play-by-play. He was able to be more versatile, bouncing back and forth between the play-by-play, the analysis, and his voice, just a little bit more commanding of the stream, had my attention inflecting at the right times.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, I agree with Puckett as well, and I think good thing about Fox is, he's willing to work. You heard him, he casted that Reddit tournament over the weekend, kind of soloed it by himself, but the same thing with Chance. He put the work in as well. For Rogers, I think once he got flustered and he didn't know that hardwire thing, he kind of lost himself.
Yeah, that was kind of where he lost it too. Really impressed with Fox. Really, really was impressed with him. He kind of brought everything I wanted to see from him again to the table. Rogers' play-by-play at times was really good, but again, they kind of had that the chemistry just wasn't there. I don't know what it was. At times, they just kind of felt a little awkward. No one knew when to stop. Obviously, when you're casting with someone for the first time, that's going to happen. But you have to understand that's going to happen when they sit down at COD Champs.
All right, hashtag Fox the Don, hashtag Rogers if you want either of those guys coming through. Here's a peek at the live polling right now one more time. You got Fox the Don at 36%. Chance still in the lead at a strong 40%. Aaron FPS at 5 and Maze at 9. So really it's between Fox the Don and Chance. Get your votes in right now. The fans will choose one.
Yes.
Us casters will choose the second. One more time though, we're going to give you guys an opportunity to listen in again. This is Chance with Aaron FPS.
Just not much going on for them.
This is the voice of Aaron
you see the Sentinel squad
Chance.
making. They are able to get some pretty good map control at times, but then when they pick up the satellite, the person with the satellite is the one that's pushing in first. He doesn't have any blockers, there's hardly any support, so he gets killed and then their entire push is over, so they waste all of their good chances.
Exactly, so one more time, we're going to see J-Lib, jumps up, isn't able to dash in for that one, and right now we're going to see CJ, he gets 2 kills and is able to jump it in for another 2-point play. So this being one of the, I think, for a player, you'd have to say that this is one of the most favored sides just because you have to dash out of school and you can basically dash right in for a 2-point play or even just throw it through the window and you'll be able to at least get a few points. So once again, we're going to see Sleazy is your satellite carrier. It's going to go down, trying to throw it from some yardage as well. And I mean, it's one-sided here. Mr. X's team going completely off.
Yeah, I really think we should highlight Freaky because he's just been posting up on top of this middle Atlas for at least 2 minutes now. He's sitting at 12-3, doing a great job of slaying, holding down the power positions, and he's just tearing it up. And now he's even taking the ball, and it looks like he's going to go for, instead of pushing through school, it looks like he's going to try to push into the other team and go for a throw. But it looks like his teammates are able to get the distraction, and he is not going to get the 2-point play.
All right, so that was a listen to their uplink call. Very nice casting duo there. They had the opportunity to go last. We kind of picked it at random what order they were going to go in. They were fortunate enough to listen into the first 3 sets of casters. Does that weigh in on your decision-making at all?
No. I think, people have known about it for a while. We sent emails out. They knew they didn't know who they were going to be casting with.
Right.
But they knew that they were going to be casting today. You can practice.
You also even heard Chance during the game. I don't think it was in that clip, but he referenced the game before one of the players had a good game. He was clearly watching the stream, clearly paying attention to everything that was going on.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Honestly, it does weigh into my...
Does it really?
Mine a little bit, because I give a little bit more leeway to the guys like Maze, who is going up first. You're batting first, a lot of pressure on you. The other guys, they had the advantage at the end. But when it came down to it for me, I thought the strongest play-by-play casters of the day were definitely going to be Maze. I had Aaron.
Really? That surprised me that you had Aaron up there.
Because he was smooth. He was smooth the whole time through. Everyone else, you can't really pick out a player or a caster who was. Like, out of the other contestants when it comes to play-by-play.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nobody close.
And then I had Fox the Don actually at number 3. So
for play-by-play?
Yeah, he took on some play-by-play, and out of everyone, again, he was smooth. He brought some energy. Underneath that, I think I had Rogers, then I had Schwantz, and then Paradox and JoJo were really just kind of a mess.
The issue I had with Aaron was he misspoke a couple of times, said a couple of things which were completely wrong. And when we did, and I know you guys are going to hate me for bringing this up, but I think you know what I'm going to say. When we did the kind of trivia quiz, and the first question was hard, listen, the thing he said was, I haven't seen anybody use this before.
Yeah.
If you don't know it,
that's okay.
But that's a pretty important.
Don't try and tell me nobody's using Hardwire.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was kind of.
If you haven't seen anyone using it, you haven't been watching enough.
Right. But his like actual
we talked about it for a full 5 minutes.
Yeah, there was that too. His play-by-play was solid at parts.
Right.
But again, like he said, he's throwing the drone for yards when he played the drone. There was a couple of times he misspoke. Chance though really, really impressed me. I have right now at least. There's probably 3 people I think in my back of my mind: Chance, Fox the Don, and I would say Maze. From the cast that we just saw today, I think it's pretty difficult to argue anyone else.
I think it's pretty clear. Those are the top 3 from today, to be honest.
Producer, just let me know. We have 60 seconds left. To be fair to all contestants, get your final hashtags in if you want Chance or Aaron FPS. You just listen to those guys. Remember, we also have Rogers. We have JoJo. You can go with Paradox.
Schwantz.
You can go with the Schwantz. Maze.
Aaron.
Get your hashtags in, guys. We'll show you the fan poll results.
Before you say, remember, your hashtags have to have hashtag Team Scuff and hashtag the castoff.
Good save,
Ben. To count. Otherwise, all those tweets, they go off into the interwebs.
Yeah.
Honestly, who knows where they end up.
All right, guys. Well, we will be back after this, the official result. You guys pick one. We pick the other. We'll tell you your 2 champions. We'll be moving on from today's semifinals into our finals at the North American Regional Finals next week.